Oh, hello and good evening. Here we are yet again. Um, I'm not sure if there's anybody there, but you never know. Bernadette is the first one to arrive. Good evening to Bernadette. And a big thank you to Bernadette for being the first one to show up. And also to Aisha, the lovely lady who sent me the bottle of wine. I say thank you to her. Thank you very much, Aisha. Yes, thank you. And hello to Jen and Bren and Alana and Melissa and Lainey and Leon Mary and everybody else. Victoria, Jane, Misty, Louise. Yes, there's lots of you coming in. We are to talk about the issues of the day. I think we'll begin with something pleasant before we go on to the topic of the day, which is obviously the revolting, horrible, creepy man, Russell Brand. And I've had a hell of a load of abuse about Russell Brand from very strange people. So, anyway, I shall be turning off my telephone device so it doesn't make any more noise. That's that gone. You love how I pronounce Jane. Well, Jane is Jane. I don't know how. Jane? Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Jane. I don't know how I say it. It is so impressive, but there we are. Anyway, today I'm going to recommend you a book that was given to me by a friend. It's called The Code of the Woosters. It's all about P.G. Wodehouse. It's a lovely book for a Sunday evening. It's the kind of thing you could read in the autumn by the fireside. You know, it's a lovely book about the whole story of Jeeves and Worcester and all of that. And it's Bertie Wooster and his aunt Dahlia and Sir Watkin Bassett and the droopy daughter Madeline and the dictator that would be Roderick Spode and his gang of black shorts, Bertram and all the rest of it. Pop Bassett, Stiffy Bing, Madeline Bassett, the Reverend Stinker Pinker. This is a nice little book. It's just a nice little book that you would enjoy, and it'd be a nice thing for you to buy for your members of your family, for perhaps their Christmas stockings. So if you're planning ahead, because people keep telling me today about Christmas, I don't know why they started on me about Christmas, but if you want a nice little gift to give to a relative, here's a nice book. It's published by Everyman, and yes, you can pick up a lovely copy of this lovely book, which a friend of mine kindly gave to me. So I recommend that to you. Invisible Ray would rather have 50 Shades of Grey. Well, that says a lot more about you than it does about me, Invisible Ray, but each to their own. I hope you enjoy reading your 50 Shades of Grey. Totally not for me. Anyway, now we can move on to other matters. Before all the other people come in, I suppose we should go through some of the smaller matters. I think the podcast of the week that you should all be listening to is called Boris's Baroness. It is a podcast about a lady called Charlotte Owen. Now, Miss Charlotte Owen is somebody who is of utterly. She is a woman who has been put in the House of Lords by Boris Johnson. And she is now, her full title is Baroness Owen of Alderley Edge. She is the youngest recipient of a life peerage since they were introduced ever. Now, why on earth is this young woman that was born in 1993 put into the House of Lords? What has Baroness Owen of Alderley Edge achieved in her life? Her mother works for her brother's forklift truck company. She grew up in Alderley Edge, which is a very wealthy part of the country. She went to a private school. She worked as an intern for George Osborne, but this has been disputed whether she did or not. We don't know. She then worked for Jacqueline Foster, who was a lady who I used to know who was an MEP. I haven't seen her in over 20 years, but there we go. I believe we're still friends on Facebook, but she might not be after she hears this. Invisible Ray says she lives in Cheney Walk. Well, as far as I'm aware, she lives in Alderley Edge. But I don't know. You may be right. She may also have a home in Cheney Walk. People say that she could be connected to a former prime minister. We don't know about that either. But why on earth is this woman who has never voted, no speeches, someone said she's very nice, but why should she shape politics? This is ridiculous to have put this person as the youngest member of the House of Lords, and she has still not made a maiden speech. Now, can you please tell her, bog off? She is utterly ridiculous. Two former 10 Downing Street members told Tortoise Media that the peerage was completely staggering. It's one of the most strange and hardest to explain because she's so extraordinarily junior. What on earth is this woman doing in the House of Lords? She's as much use as Baroness Mayor. Lady Mayor is another person of no note. Lady Mayor is an absolutely vile, ghastly woman who I had the misfortune to have once in my home for Christmas Day with her ghastly, now deceased husband, a pair of toe rags of the first order, dreadful, vile, sick in the head people who are totally useless. This girl has no point. She should be removed. She should not be there. There is no need for this woman to be in Parliament. She has no purpose. She has not achieved a single thing. And she is as much use, as Julie says, as a chocolate teapot. Invisible Ray says she stole the wallpaper. I'm not sure what wallpaper she stole, but Libby Stockholm, Paulie rightly points out, is full up. She should resign herself. Well, she clearly didn't wish to resign herself because she's put herself there before we could even stop her getting there. Many of the peerages are a joke, says Busted. There we are. So it is utterly bizarre how there we are. Yes, Melissa Neal says, now we'll move on to the topic of Russell Brand. Did I hear that Michael Barrymore is defending Russell Brand? I have not seen what Michael Barrymore has had to say about Russell Brand because Michael Barrymore has blocked me on Twitter. Michael Barrymore is one of the filthiest, most gross, grim, revolting, vile, evil specimens on the entire planet. Michael Barrymore, to me, is a man worse than Hitler. He dressed up as Hitler once and pretended to be him. He then got down on his knees and worshipped Jimmy Savile. Would you trust the word of Michael Barrymore about any topic? Because Michael Barrymore was friends with a woman who I helped have sent to prison. Her name was Marie Claire Baroness von Ulvensleben. She is a racist bigot, and she is an absolutely shameful piece of scumbag, and she makes me feel sick. And she attacked an Indian gentleman, and she was a racist. And she is comes from a family that supports nasty things that went on that many German people would be ashamed of. She is a very vile woman, and Mr. Barrymore is a very, 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 very bad man. I don't like to even think about Barrymore, but Barrymore coming out in support of Russell Brand. And as for Russell Brand, as I said yesterday, Russell Brand is a man whose dog, his evil dog, that he allowed to get out of control. And the dog is not at fault. It's the owner, I would say. I would blame the owner over the dog always. The dog killed a wallaby. That is disgusting. He should have controlled his animal. He is vile. And, there are lots of people who don't like this Russell Brand. But Mr. Brand, remember this. There was a man called Andrew Sachs, Russell Brand, and another nasty piece of toe rag, the dreadful Jonathan Ross, who is a weirdo, frankly, an appalling person, another sicko, another one that needs locking up for his own safety, along with his ghastly, common, vile wife. How dare they attack that poor old man, Andrew Sachs, and ring up and say nasty things about the granddaughter? And that's when they should have been cancelled, a pair of them, not just Russell Brand, also Jonathan Ross. These people have got no moral compass. And I don't care about all these people coming out going, oh, it's a right to free speech. And, oh, he's speaking out for all these climate change deniers and people who think that coronavirus never existed. They're a bunch of cuckoos. They're absolutely crazy. Now, the people who've come out in support of Russell Brand, let's go through them. Andrew Tate. Well, we know about that misogynist. I won't go there. Elon Musk, Mr. Twitter. Well, he seems to have a rather curious history. Lawrence Fox, a lunatic who can't even get his deposit back. And a woman from the Daily Telegraph, Alison Pearson. She's as mad as a box of fried frogs. She's completely cuckoo. And it is utterly ridiculous. Now, I know that many of you think that it's a right to freedom of speech. Well, Mr. Brand has been revolting to women for many, many years. He's been revolting to men. He is a disgusting looking thing. I don't know him. I've never met him. I do know of people who have had relationships with him. They do not have anything positive to say about him. They were glad when it ended. He is not a good person. That is all I see, but that does not make him guilty. Now, he has to be tried before a court of law if he's going to be accused of the terrible offences that he is alleged to have committed. But equally, I think that all these people coming out going, oh, give him the benefit of the doubt. The man is disgusting. He's come out with revolting things over the years. I do not support him. I will not be trying to help him. I don't wish to help him. And those that wish to help him, shame on them. Shame on their houses. Disgusting. I say stand with the victim, because the poor victims have been very courageous. And the only reason that those victims have now come forward and don't believe the lies of the Andrew Tates and all of this. The reason these people have been now allowed to speak is because the super injunctions have finally been lifted. I have fought super injunctions for many years against other people who've tried to silence me because I speak out on various topics. I can tell you, these courageous ladies deserve to be celebrated, and it's disgusting that people are there trying to say, oh, poor old Russell Brand. The man is a piece of toe rag. He deserves to be sent where he belongs, the bonfire of baloney. I won't say any more because I might get silenced myself if I dare speak, because I got told off on another channel once for saying something. But I will not be silenced. Russell Brand is a piece of rotten rubbish. He is not suitable to be near anybody. He is a terrible, vile person. What he did to Andrew Sachs was recorded. He should have been shut up back then. Why do we need to hear any more from this nasty, vile man? Angela says, I have heard you've had a letter with a warning. As far as I'm aware, Angela, no, I have not had any letter with a warning. No. So I don't know what you're talking about on this occasion, Angela. You're a very nice lady, but I don't know what you're talking about. Utter rubbish. There we go. Next. Do I think that Barrymore is worse than Brand? Well, obviously, I do think Barrymore is worse than Brand, because I think what went on the 31st of March 2001 in bungalow in Royston or Roydon or whatever it's called, Essex, that resulted in someone's death. That's disgusting. And Michael Barrymore ran away. I think it's a far worse thing. Of course I do. But these poor ladies who have suffered as victims of alleged abuse at the hands of this individual, I feel sorry for them also, because I do believe them. I think that there are many stories about this man, and the story I read earlier today about a young girl who got into a taxi, and the taxi driver said, please, please don't go into that house. And she did, and then she regretted it. That is appalling if it's true. Now, some of these stories may be true and some of them may not be. So everything is an allegation at this stage. But the things that we have heard that Mr. Brand has said about the granddaughter of Mr. Sachs are proof enough to me that the man is vile, he's sick in the head, and he's a wrong 'un. And he's a bad, bad person. And I will not be here saying anything else. And I don't like people who are supported by Andrew Tate, Lawrence Fox, and rubbish like Alison Pearson. Now, Rod Stewart's poor daughter, he said terrible things about her. Isn't that disgusting? That is just appalling. The Brand backers, says the Daily Mail. Elon Musk, Andrew Tate. This is a group of very lowbrow, trashy people, most of them covered in tattoos, who look like they come from the back of a bus. They may be rich, they may be connected, they're absolute trash. Now, to have Lawrence Fox as your biggest backer, you've got to be pathetic. Absolutely disgraceful. No, I just find this whole thing appalling and sickening and wrong. And this lady called Katy Perry, Alexis Parr, has now come into the room. Alexis is a lovely lady who I know. As rightly said, there's a great secret. watch out for the secret. The secret will be coming out. And I look forward to hearing the secret. This man is a piece of rubbish. He goes around carrying women's underwear and flirting with people, and he's disgusting and he's vile. He is somebody who is up there with Dan Wootton. And to all of you out there telling me I should be going after Dan Wootton, not him, the two aren't mutually dependent or mutually exclusive. We're allowed to criticize whoever we wish. I don't like any of them. Danny Minogue says said he wouldn't take no for an answer. Danny Minogue is a perfectly nice young lady who I have met in the past, and she is. I hope she wasn't pestered by him, but he is a vile, vile person. There we go. It is utterly wrong, but it is now time that this man came out with a thing saying that he wanted to have a go. He had a go on Rod Stewart's daughter. That is disgusting. Harriet Blanca asks, have I been a victim of crime myself? Yes, I have. I've been a victim of many crimes. So I've had a number of people sent to jail, actually. One was a man called Viscount St. David's. He offered a reward to kill Gina Miller, and he targeted me also. He went to prison, and I have a restraint order against him. I believe it may have expired by now. Then there was a man called Thomas McLaughlin. He also offered a reward to kill me. He went to jail. He's now dead, so I'm thankfully rid of him. He was a very wicked man. He was a con man and a crook. And yes, I've been a victim of another person who is an ongoing matter, so I shall not name them. And yes, I've been victim. I've been a victim of crime on a number of occasions. But there we go. But I'm very lucky. I'm a privileged person, and I carry on and I survive, and here I am. And I try to support people who are victims of injustice. So I support Omar Benguit, a person who has been wrongly jailed for the murder of a woman called Yoki Oshin, and he is not guilty in my view. There's a man called Mark Alexander, and Terry Waite and I support him. We would like to get him out of prison because he is not guilty of the murder of his father. I support the group who support Jeremy Bamber because I think that there is a grave injustice there because the facts don't add up. I'm also involved in a number of other cases. I read quite a bit about the case of Luke Mitchell. I think there's another case that needs completely reinvestigating. Let's help people like that, as opposed to hearing the nonsense of Russell Brand. There we go. Anyway, that is how I feel about that particular set of nonsense. There we are. So, yes, I think the whole matter of Russell Brand is that he is crude, he's crass, he's tacky, he's terrible, he's sick in the head. And this revolting little man has a dog that killed a wallaby. Absolutely appalling. He didn't even control his own dog. Paulie says he belongs in the bog. Yes, well, I'd throw him in. Yes, he is screwed, says Robbie. Busted, says Lena. Evola has a different view, but I won't be repeating it. But there we are. You're entitled to your view, Evola, but I don't agree with you. So there we go. You're entitled to support him if you so wish to support him. He is not somebody I would support, but there we go. It's absolutely appalling. I don't know if he goes hunting giraffes, but there we are. As for Harry Webb, well, we'll see what happens when he dies. Let's just leave it at that. I won't be saying any further about Harry Webb. You think he's a good comedian? One of the all-time greats? My God, you must be desperate for comedy. My God, I've never heard that. Anyway, we shall move along. I think we've heard enough. And we're now at 25 minutes into this, but we shall be moving along to my final topic. We're only going to have a short evening tonight because there we go. Unless you have lots of questions. Daniel thinks that Jim Davidson is the best comedian. Well, Daniel, you must be tone deaf. You must be worse than the village idiot. But anyway, good for you. That's what you like. Anyway, my next topic is the cost of Meghan Markle. Her 6-day wardrobe at the Invictus Games cost a total of £282,500, according to the Daily Express. I don't know where they get the £500 from, but there we are. $350,000. Does this woman not have a brain cell? Was she born in a barn? Was she worse than the village idiot? I sound like Anne Robinson here, but honestly, how utterly hideous when poor people are dying and starving on the streets that she spends $350,000 on clothes to go to a games for her own personal appearance. What on earth is this shameful, wicked wench doing? And where are her children? Shame on her. What is wrong with this mendacious menace? Absolutely appalling. And many of you didn't like her legs. No, well, I don't know about her legs, but I think, be fair, you've got to look right, says Dream Big. Well, I imagine you're just trying to make an ironic joke, but seriously, you're wrong. In this cost of living crisis, ordinary people are suffering, and this disgusting wench should be ashamed of herself. She's an absolute outrage. Don't like her. Don't think she's correct. Not to my liking. It is not correct, and it is utterly wrong. Bambi Debonair says she's tacky as tacky can be. I agree with Bambi Debonair. Doc Martins says she's got very thin legs like stalks. Well, I can't criticize her legs. She can't help her legs. She got the legs that she got when she was born, so that's not her fault, is it? But she is just ridiculous with the amount of ridiculous clothing that she seems to be wearing. And who is paying for these clothing, as Nicola Crompton asks? Why isn't the money going to the veterans, asks Carol. Now, there is a more key point. Why on earth didn't she give $350,000 to the veterans? She could have turned up wearing an old rag and it wouldn't matter, because it wouldn't make her look any better, because she's still gross. She's grimmer than grim. She's an absolute dimmer than dim, and she's a dim-witted dunce. And how dare she do this? This woman should just be sent to Siberia along with Fergie and Prince Andrew and Prince Harry. Put them all on the Bibby Stockholm and sink it. Send them all off on their merry way. We don't need any of these gross people in our world. It is the Invictus Games. What a load of old rubbish. Nobody's interested in the Invictus Games. Do you know who won the Invictus Games? Because I certainly don't. Do you? Please tell me. Who won the Invictus Games? Is anyone here going to tell me who was the winner of the Invictus Games? I'm waiting for a response. I haven't got one. Paulie says no idea, nor do I care. Melissa says don't know. Lena says good point. Caroline says no idea. Which event? Says Chegwin. Don't know, says Julie. See, there you go. The Invictus Games achieved nothing because no one knows who actually won it. We don't have a clue. All we know is that Prince Harry held an event and his wife turned up and wore $350,000 of clothing. Now, how is that improving the world for anybody? Absolutely ridiculous. This is laughable and it's ludicrous and it's completely wrong. So there we go. Anyway, have any of you any questions? Because now I've gone through my range of topics here, and I shall be able to disappear soon. Otherwise, we shan't be having a quiz this evening because I have no one to assist me, and you didn't enjoy my discussion last night so much. So there we are. What's my opinion on the bully ban? Well, we already talked about that yesterday. But, am I off to the magnet? Well, I've been to the magnet already today. So anyway, no quiz because I don't have a quiz assistant. Unfortunately, some days I don't have a W. McGee in my life, so I can't always assist with what you wish. Have I met Rupert Sheldrake? I don't know who Rupert Sheldrake is. So. There we are. Do I know Joe Good of the BBC Radio? No, I don't. The India Club closing. Well, I never went to the India Club, but I'm sorry to hear it is closing. Would I like a W. McGee in my life? No, I would not like W. McGee in my life or anyone similar to W. McGee. No, thank you. There we are. I don't know why you want to know about my upbringing. My life is just a very ordinary life. I'm just as ordinary as anyone. Cheers to you all. Do I prefer Chinese or Indian food? Depends on the occasion, really, doesn't it? Like both. Like French food, like American food, like English food. I like all sorts of food. Did I go to Eton? No, I did not. There we are. Have I been to the In and Out Club when it was on Piccadilly? Yes, I did go there once, but it's not there anymore. It's a building site. So I haven't been there in many years, and it's been empty for many, many years. Have I met Ray Purchase? I can't say I've purchased a meeting with Ray. No, I don't know who he is. Have I met Tracy Emin? Yes, I have met her, but I will leave the comment there. That's all I shall say. Eric Toasthead says Ray Bloody Purchase. Oh. Did I meet Vivienne Westwood? Unfortunately, yes. Not a fan of her. Richard Wilson, no, never met him. The Australian press is praising Meghan and Harry. Well, good for them. My thoughts on Madonna. No, I don't know Madonna. I've never met Madonna. So I have met her ex-husband and her ex-parents-in-law. But no, I don't know Madonna. Do I think Kate McCann is a man? No, I don't think Kate McCann is a man. That's a ridiculous comment. Kate McCann, whatever she may be, is not a man. She is a woman, as far as I'm aware. Do I think Michael Stone is innocent? Asks June. Well, I don't know. I haven't watched the documentary, but June, we will talk about this in due course. And June and I will be back to talk again soon, I hope. June, are you available to do another video in the near future? But I may well be traveling for the next 2 or 3 weeks. So therefore, I won't be making a video in Broadstairs. I will be elsewhere. But June and I will be making a video again in the near future. And I think everybody really enjoyed June. So you need a bit more June. Eric loved the afternoon stream with June. Yes, traveling Steeples. Well, that could be it. Yes, I could be in some other part of the world. So it's be decided in due course. Have I seen the sitcom Rising Damp? No, I have not. Am I going to Italy? Well, I would like to go to Italy, but it's not on the agenda. There we are. You'll find out where I'm going when I get there. So I won't give away the destination at this stage because I may get stalkers. And you never know, do you? Could all be a little bit odd. Raffinet Mullen says this is all very boring. Are you all bored of me? And are you bored of Raffinet Mullen? Because Raffinet Mullen is claiming he thinks there is no feed and it is boring. He's very bored. I don't know what he's bored of, but Raffinet Mullen is bored. Well, I'm sorry if you're bored, Raffinet Mullen, but you know, if you don't like it, bog off. I don't know what we do about Raffinet Mullen. Have I met Morrissey? No, I haven't met Morrissey. A nice person, I'm sure, but I don't know him. Have I seen American Psycho? Yes, lovely. Lucy Wallace is just bored of. Oh, well, there we are. I don't really know what to say about these people that are bored, but if they wish to be bored, Daniel Fern is right. Morris dancing. I'm not into Morris dancing. If you want to be bored of your skull, go Morris dancing. I don't know why this person's so bored, but they keep writing back again and again and again, saying more. It's a little bit ridiculous, isn't it? Anyway, good luck to them. Hope they have a nice evening. I shan't be replying to them anymore. Sounds like they're a complete troll or something. I don't know. I can't do any more about it because I don't understand. Melissa says she can help with a quiz, but no, we won't be doing a quiz tonight. I need to get somebody who's in the room to take notes. On the barge for them. So there we are. Have I read The Bonfire of the Vanities by Tom Wolfe? Yes, that's a lovely book. Yes, there we go. The Bonfire of the Vanities is a book I recommend. Tonight's recommendation was P.G. Woodhouse's The Code of the Woosters. So there you go. That's a different book. But anyway, here we are. We will revisit some of those. Can I speak Welsh? No, I can't speak Welsh, but I've been to Wales. There's many lovely people in Wales. I love Scotland very much also. I've been to Ireland, and I like Ireland, and I like many other countries. So There we are. Depends on what you like. It's each to their own. But we love many countries. So most people in Australia don't care two hoots for Harry and Meghan, says another. Is Meghan Markle hot? I'd say not. Lena has been asked to send me a copy of American Psycho to review. Oh, well, I could try reading it if I get a copy of it, but I haven't got a copy of it. But I've got so many books to read, but always more books are welcome. Did I like the movie Slumdog Millionaire? Yes, I do, because my friend Arthie Lambert was a star of Slumdog Millionaire, and he came to visit me, and he is an absolutely wonderful friend. And I'm very lucky to have Arthie Lambert as a friend, and he was in Slumdog Millionaire. And he came to visit me many, many years ago, and we keep in touch. But I haven't seen him for a few years now, but I would hope to welcome him back again soon. So what do I do with the books I've finished? Well, I keep books. I don't get rid of books because I might want to revisit them. I often reread books, and I occasionally give away some books, but I keep most books. It's better to keep books because I love having books around me. So I may want to go back and find the odd passage from particular books, so I tend to keep a book. But I do loan my books to my neighbour. My neighbour, who has been here for dinner this evening, a lovely lady, has. We regularly share books, and we borrow books from one another, and that is a nice thing to do. I think it's wonderful to share books with your friends. I also take books to the magnet where I leave them on the bookshelf. And I also take books from the magnet and also from the local Tesco store, which is wonderful because you never know what you're going to find. So we all get to enjoy books. Book exchanges, telephone boxes that are bookshops. I think they are the most wonderful thing on the planet. Isn't it fantastic that people do that? I think we should encourage more of that. So there we go. Do I like roast chicken? Yes, I do. There we go. Yes, you'd like a deep dive on Meghan Markle. Well, we'll save that for another day. But you liked the lady last night. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed her. Yes, some lovely people. Always good. You would think a bookcase would look nice behind my chair. Well, most of my books are on tables and on piled up high on the floor. I've got so many damn books that it's ridiculous. But there we go. Michael Caine likes to encourage people to read. He's upset that the libraries are being closed. Well, I agree with him if that's the case. There we are. Did I have the Billy Blue Hat books at school? I can't say I did. No, I've never heard of them. Will I be in London anytime soon? I could possibly be there within the next 24 hours, but it's only on the way to going somewhere else. But do I have a record player? No, I don't have a record player. Not for any particular reason. I just don't happen to have one. The jokes last night had you laughing and crying. Okay, well, have I ever borrowed a library book and not returned it? No, I haven't. Not personally. Someone once gave me a library book. Well, a book that came from a library, which I think they'd stolen from the library, but I don't know which library they stole it from, so I can't return it. But from the evidence I see in the book, I think that it was stolen from a library. But I can't return it because I don't know which library it came from because the relevant paperwork is not there. But I can see that there is evidence of something having occurred. So there we are. Anyway, here we are at 45 minutes. So I think we've done nearly a whole evening of lovely chitter chatter and conversation. And thank you very much to you all. And I don't think you, if you, do you have any final questions? It doesn't seem that you have any final questions. So I shall say thank you all for the very much, and how lovely to have chatted with you all, and a wonderful nighty night and the almighty pip pip, and cheers to you all. Good gardening and sleep well. Don't have nightmares.